Hi guys, my name is Suryaram Sitamraju. Today I am going to explain you about the project that I am currently working on. This is called RIMS project. The name of the project is RIMS and we are developing this for Microsoft. Before even I start the presentation, I would request you all to please bear with me like I'm feeling with cough, cold and flu symptoms. So mostly during the time if I cough or anything, please apologize. So starting off with the summary of the RIMS project. My name is Suryaram Sitamraju and I am the project manager assigned for this RIMS project. The main let me introduce you about what this project is and why we are implementing it in Microsoft. In Microsoft is such a big company where we constantly create new softwares and we develop new hardwares, everything to for process of to go in a smooth way. Whenever we create anything software or hardware, we test it using a manual testers, which takes a lot of time and also a lot of money as we are spending it on the manual labor. So we have introduced this software called RIM software, which is mainly focused on developing a common tool to record, store all build and test data under every hardware and software implementation. When I am creating a new operating systems, I create 1,000 test cases or thousands of data where I create it are usually like manual testers do create it and they save the data in the database. During with this RIMS project, it auto creates everything based on the test scenarios that were developed by the automation developers helped with the web team, and the testing team is mostly the manual testing has been limited. This automation is recently we got it from the main automation that we got in today thing is from Google. Google has introduced a new model called set and TE model. With the set model, you can see software engineering test. That is what we are implementing in here. It reduces, whenever we automate scripts, it reduces the chance of human errors when we are planning to introduce this common tool, and all the tedious tasks and provide testers a user-friendly experience with optimized efficiency. That is all the introduction about the RIMS project. The next slide will show you this is how the online tablet share trending is currently going on. This we have downloaded from the Yahoo. You can see the yellow one is the Amazon, which is at the 10% when they are using the tablet share, and the red is the Apple. It dropped at one point, it is like close to 45%, but it dropped to 17%. But Microsoft has slowly gained access until the 45%. You can see more people are started using the Microsoft tech, like Microsoft devices and Microsoft technologies. So it is really essential for us to give the best possible output for users where they shouldn't feel any sort of discrepancy or issues when they are working on the model. Let me go over and explain you the brief overview of the project methodology that we are implementing in the RIMS project. RIMS project. Microsoft RIMS project team involves in 6 different phases. 1. The project specification and scoping. 2. Data collection and analysis. 3. Baseline modeling and validation. 4. All scenario analysis. 5. Business plan. 6. Knowledge transfer. Steering committee and reference group is also set up as part of this project where we have to give demonstration to all our stakeholders and all the users once this is done and document each and every step that we have implemented during the process of this RIMS methodology. Let me go over and explain the project specification and scoping and what our main objectives and responsibilities that are associated with the project specification and scoping. The main objective here we do is gathering all hardware and software requirements, establishing the project scope and objectives. The main milestone that we do in this project specification and scoping is the project kickoff meeting, which I have forwarded in an email and send it to you all. The deliverables that you can see with this project is we are going to define each and every technology that we are about to use in this project while building the framework, and the timeline and the team assignments. Who is going to assign the task, all the scrum teams, everything has been decided as part of the deliverable project. In order to achieve that thing, we need to have all the data requirements, which in parallel, as a project manager, my responsibility to gather all the data requirements and provide it to the development team where they can go ahead and start working on it. It is also my responsibility to create the design criteria and analysis objectives with a high-level scenario definitions. Whenever there is an issue with the project or working of a project, we need to have a documentation to go over the same process and analyze and do the terms. The responsibilities that are engaged in this flow is we have a lead who is Sriram, who is working with the project briefing internally and externally. The project manager, which is me, who is going to review the SO and do the kickoff meeting with the onboarding guide and do the documentation, all the stuff. Then there is a software team who is going to review the BRD that I am going to prepare, which is a business requirement document, and come up with if they have any questions or if they have anything that they need to add as part of input in while developing the project. We have set it up using a SharePoint, and all the budget and everything schedule has been all planned, pre-planned before. There is a pre-launch briefing about the onboarding guide that we are about to use it. All the work entries or the number of hours that were put on while working on this project is gathered with the weekly timesheets. We are going with a weekly status update. It is really hard in the agile methodology when we go and have a stand-ups regularly every day morning. Since this is very a time constrained project, we wanted to give enough time for developers to develop the application and come up with the weekly status update and provide us where they stand, how they stand, and give us a demo on every week. All the tools and templates that are listed on here is all like, everything is already we are using it in the Microsoft, so no special tools are required in order to purchase for this project. The second step is data collection and analysis. The objective of this project is when the manual testers assign data and do all the model technologies, they put all the data into each flow and put it into the database, understand if it is properly getting the data into the tables or not. With this, what we are doing is we are collecting the data using the RIMS tool, which is already been built and which we are about to build as part of my previous step. And the weekly updates. So it's going to require all the data for the model, and it will assess and put it into the required tables. The deliverables are we input the data into database and get if there are any gaps or anything. Again, this has all 3% who have been working in the previous project specification scoping. We have a team lead who does the code review of all the code that has been written, or if anything the development team do struck in, he is going to engage in there and help them. Again, you're gonna see me as a project manager where I'm going to come up with all the data gaps and discrepancies after talking to the vendors and see if everything is going in as smooth as possible. We are again monitoring the timesheets and updating the status and going to give a demo to the vendors by the end of this phase. The next phase that we are going to see is the baseline and the modeling phase. Here, we already created a mock tool. In this tool, we are going to add a future requirements and enhancements. We already have a framework which is doing all the stuff that is needed as part of this project. Now, it is our responsibility to make it more user-friendly and add any new features if needed to be added. We need to come up with a validated baseline model for this tool and document each and every step where all the presentation has to be saved into the operational model and everything is in the Confluence document. Again, in this, we have all the RIM software team, project manager, and the engagement lead involved in this project. Everyone's timesheet and the expense entry has been recorded into the portal. We do have the weekly status update and provide up if we are coming with any of the tools. There is a budget review and monthly invoicing is done. And in this phase, if we have to move, if the budget is overflowing, and if we have to move one of the developer or one of the automation person from the team to assign to a different task, this is where we do it in this phase. Because we already have the framework, this phase is strictly for enhancing the existing model. So the next phase that we are going in there is the scenario analysis. This scenario analysis determines the quantitative and qualitative difference between the strategic options. We do have the scenario review meeting and scenario analysis sign off. After finishing off the project, it is responsibility that I sign off the project saying like whatever the project has to be done has been done. And I need to know, I need to send all the data flow, detailed maps of the data flow, and the landed cost analysis of the number of hours that are being working on the developers, testers, everyone, whoever is assigned to this project. I need to gather the flow of everything and need to submit it to the respective teams. We need to know the cost summaries by categorized and development and testing metrics and complete service metrics, whatever we have done throughout this project. Again, I'm going to gather the requirements from the engagement lead, RIM software team, everybody whoever been associated in this project. This is in this project, the main agenda for the scenario analysis is we should be ready with all the presentation templates and should be assigned the presentation templates to all the respective vendors and the stakeholders when we have to provide it to them. Business plan and recommendation. This is a finalize the present recommended scenarios with supporting analytics for operational savings and effective real-time implementation. The recommendation review meeting, execute the presentation, and everything that you see in here, the business case, implementation of the roadmap, and final executive presentation will be provided as part of a deliverable project in this scenario. Here, the RIM software team will only generate the output generation where they are being called over on the platform and being appreciated for developing this project in front of the vendors and the stakeholders. Here, the executive presentation templates were designed by the project manager, which is me, and I will provide the complete business case, final recommendation, and the executive presentation to all the vendors and the stakeholders. The first, the final, and the last step involved in this process, and the most important thing, is the knowledge transfer. Microsoft is such a huge company where we have different teams working on different projects. It is really essential when we are developing something that is really useful for the entire organization. It is really essential for every single person who is working in Microsoft to be aware of this RIMS project, because having an automation tool beside you will always reduce the lot of errors that usually happen with manually enters or anything. So the transition after this, we're gonna create a project document which we are did over the last few phases. We are compiling everything into the Confluence, and we are going to save the document and present a knowledge transfer to all the respective teams and the associates and give them a valid take, like it's a training class and the documentation, and provide everything data to them. We are more than happy to get the feedback from them. Such way, if we have to use it, we will be providing the same in the part of baseline modeling and validation, where we have to enhance the project after getting the feedback from the all the vendors and the associates of the Microsoft and the people who are using this project in their who are using this framework in their respective projects. This is the project where I'm going to gather all the final timesheet in the expense entry that has been gone over this project right from the day one. We are going to close out the process. So any enhancement that has to be done will be taken as part of internal enhancement with another TPR to be working on it. All the models and documentation will be archived and will be saved under the shared folder where everybody should be able to have access and able to monitor it. All the sample model documentation will be provided on the main landing page of the Microsoft, and they can take a look at it. The next action items that I'm about to do is touch base with the user to ensure the smooth data flow access and explain everything if all the RIMS tool project, and more than happy to have the future discussions or any enhancements about to happen as part of the knowledge transfer. Identifying the inconsistencies of the gaps throughout the different stages of project methodology process, and if there is any chunk or any piece that you guys think that we have missed as part of automating this framework, we are more than happy to get feedback from you guys so we can implement it on our end. We have the link down there, which can be, this presentation is copied in the link down there. You can go ahead and access the link. The main key contributors for this team is Sriram, which I have mentioned before. The project sponsor, and the project sponsor is the Saks Call. The project manager is me, Suryaram Sitamraju. We have a RIM software team, Ankit Rahul, Tom Brady, operations manager Bennett Tammy, technical lead, and Samuel George. This is all about the RIMS project, which we have implemented as part of Microsoft project. Thank you. Any queries?